We got to get them up, man. That's what helps the channel the most. So I was going to lead into this, but Gunny kind of already touched on it. So let's talk about it. All right. Gunny touched on a lot of shit. I probably don't have no clue what I'm talking about. But I got y'all.
Can you bring up Christopher Johnson's comment, by the way? I just want to point something out.
All right. I got you.
Thanks.
Let me share this real quick. So they kind of touched on it. Chaotic was going back and forth with Gunny, of course, about the neighborhood, so on and so forth. So I just want to ask the question: do people want to live around black people if they don't have to? I feel like we talked about this, maybe Chaotic, maybe a little bit, but do people want to live around blacks if they do not have to? Gunny, I'll let you do the honors.
Wow. Absolutely not.
Which one, Chaotic? Let me know. This one?
Oh, yeah. Christopher Johnson says, me and my girl took a 10-day princess cruise. We were the only two blacks on the ship. Like CT, blacks ain't got money to travel. Might go to Myrtle Beach. Exactly. So I don't know what that Jamaican lady's talking about. She's acting like blacks are just traveling outside the country. That's bullshit. Black Americans ain't traveling. Most blacks don't even have a goddamn passport.
Yeah.
I got mine. But go ahead.
So Gunny. Damn, I just cursed Chris out too. My bad, Chris. Do people want to live around black people if they don't have to? Gunny, what were you saying?
No, absolutely not. I think that's a sad reality. If black people could make the choice, if they wanted to live in an all-white neighborhood or an all-black neighborhood, they would choose an all-white neighborhood. I personally live in an all-white neighborhood. We're the only black couple in the neighborhood, and it is what it is. And it's peaceful over here, and hey, that's reality.
Okay. What say you, love?
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind living around black people. Again, I'm gonna take it back to what I said an hour ago. I think it's a class issue because there are cruddy white people that throw litter on the ground. There's other ethnic groups that are dirty. I don't like litter on the ground. I don't like their dogs not being scooped up. You know, their droppings getting scooped up. I don't like trash on the street. I don't like loud music. I don't like the parties, you know, girls getting wasted and guys. I don't like that in my neighborhood. And so it's the class of people that I don't want to be around. There are wealthy black neighborhoods where it's all black and they're wealthy. And so I would love to live around them. Absolutely. Because they take care of their property. The property value is up. They care about landscaping and things of that nature. So the answer to your question, yes, people want to live around black people. Well, I'm trying to answer this the right way. The answer to the question is do people want to live? Yes, I'm trying to answer in the affirmative.
So you're saying people do want to live around black people?
Yes, we don't want to live around low class people, period. That's the issue. It's the class we don't want to live around, not black people.
What about the propaganda, Asia or Love? Sorry, you know that Alex was stating like this is how people they view us. Do you think people are differentiating between what black person they deem good and bad?
Yeah. So what I think is we talked about this maybe last year, it was a while ago, but the point was made, and I totally agree with it. Bad is accentuated. The worst, the cruddiest, the worst of a quality of a person is shown more. When you get on the news feeds and they interview people, they're always like, oh man, why do you got to interview the most ignorant person they can find on the street? Because that gets views, that gets clicks, that gets likes. The videos that show arguments, controversy sells. And so I think that it's shown, so the propaganda piece of it, that part is shown to say this is how this entire population of people act because it fits into their narrative.
Yeah, I know, but if people don't, so hey, Mr. White, maybe you can help me clarify because Chaotic made the point. He made a differentiation. I don't know if everybody heard it. He said niggas and black Americans, and he was saying that there's a difference there. I think it's easy to kind of go with that for the sake of the conversation. So, Mr. White, how do people differentiate between us if the propaganda, like Asia just proved, they use the worst of us for clickbait and people assume that we all act like that? How do people know the difference?
And I think that's the thing they don't, right?
Mm.
So they automatically just see us as one. But if we all would give our anecdotal experiences, for the most part, those of us who grew up in the hood, like it was straight. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you couldn't do certain things, but it was all love. It was cool. So put me with black people anywhere. And I love the point that Asia touched on too, with it being about class, right? But they're not going to show that. Like she said, they're going to show the worst of us. And since a lot of people don't have that, and then those who don't have the experience of being around black people, that's all that they're going to see. Then they'll have that one experience and attach that to everybody. And they're the ones with the voices too. So it's going to look like, dang, all black people are bad. But then they'll flip it, right? Like when you're talking about white people and how they won't even look at rednecks as their majority, but everything negative about the black person is the majority.
Oh, I see. So we're defined by our minority, you think?
Absolutely.
Okay. Ro, you nodding? You agree with that?
I agree. Like I said yesterday, I lived in Atlanta most of my life. Majority of the black communities, they are part of the elitists that Chaotic was talking about. Your Deltas and your Zetas and all of them live in gated communities. They all live together. Their income is the same, and they want to live with each other. They don't want to live in white neighborhoods. Gunny, you said you wouldn't mind living in a white neighborhood. Are you going to move to a trailer park with a majority of white people? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to do that. Your neighborhood, you're in your neighborhood, you're the only black person, but you have to also think about when your children go to school, how that affects them. So you have to understand that when you say you're going to live in a majority white neighborhood, you're not really going to live in a majority white neighborhood because you're not going to move to a trailer park. And so that's where we talk about the different income areas and the different social economic areas where black people do live together because that's what they want.
Shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that.
Solid, man.
Peace.
And we out.
Thank you guys so much.